Hi, I'm Ash. I'm one of the in-house makeup artists here at Match My Makeup, and today I'm going to take you through a casual day-to-day makeup look. As always, every day should begin with clean skin, moisturizer, sunscreen, and lip balm. It's really important to give yourself sun protection every day. Sun damage can occur through windows and on cloudy days. And it's important to know that the sunscreen that you find in your foundation is not enough to give you the protection that you need. We simply don't apply makeup in the same volume that we need to apply sunscreen. Now, I've already prepped my skin for makeup. I've cleaned my skin, I've applied my moisturizer, lip balm, and sunscreen. But if you want some more detail on how to prepare your skin for makeup, go and watch our No Makeup video. To make your makeup last all day, I recommend using a primer. Primers come in all shapes and sizes, from mattifying, color correcting, and glowing radiant primers. If your skin is on the drier side, I would recommend using one that gives you a dewy, glowing finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my primer now. It's really important that before you start any makeup application, that your brushes and hands are clean. So I'm just gonna start sort of in the center of my face and work my way out. And if you are using quite a glowy primer, you can really emphasize that on the tops of the cheekbones and the high points of the face. Now for a day-to-day look, I recommend using a medium coverage foundation with a natural satiny finish. Start by applying your foundation with a clean brush or hands or a sponge, and start in the center of your face and work your way out. This is usually where we need the most amount of coverage. You can also blend this down your neck to help give a seamless finish and also help to cancel out any discoloration you may have in that area. When it comes to brushes, really one of the best tools is using your hands, as the warmth of your skin can really help to blend it in and make it look natural. A good little tip if you are using your hands is to wash your hands after you've applied your foundation so that you don't then get foundation on everything afterwards. I recommend putting on concealer after your foundation. That way I can see what the foundation has covered and what needs a little bit more. To conceal under your eyes, place a small amount in the inner corner of your eye. Let it warm to your skin before blending it out. And with concealer, I always say that less is more. So start with a little bit, because you can always build up more. I tend to get a little bit red around the edges of my nose and the corners of my mouth, so I like to get a little bit more coverage by applying some concealer there. When it comes to concealing blemishes, definitely less is more. Use a little cotton tip or a very fine tip brush to just apply the tiniest bit of concealer right on top of the blemish and then blend it out with your finger. The reason for this is that a blemish is often on a raised surface, whereas only the very tiniest bit of it is red. So you find that if you put too much concealer on it, it can draw attention to it. So just the tiniest little bit, and then dab it in with your finger. Some people like to use concealers that are a little bit lighter than what their foundation would be for up under the eyes, and this helps to give a lovely brightening effect. I like to use one that is closer to my skin tone, that way I can use it on blemishes as well. You definitely don't want to use a lighter color on your blemishes, as that also will bring more attention to it. Powder only if necessary and when necessary. So if you get a little bit oily through your T-zone, just pop a little bit of sheer powder through the center to knock back any shine. I'm just using a translucent powder here. And strangely, your eyelids are actually very oily, so I like to put just a tiny bit of powder on them as well. Now let's add some dimension to the face with contouring blush and highlight. Using a contour brush or a small angled brush, start your contouring from the tip of your ear, and you want to work down in a triangle shape. So the triangle goes from the tip of your ear to the middle of your ear and down to about the outer corner of your eye. And this is where you want to map out your contour shape. I'm going a bit heavy-handed here just so that you can see the application, but I believe when it comes to contour, less is more again. I think that the key with contouring is to create a little bit of a shadow. You don't really want people to see like a stripe on your face. When you're blending it in, I like to sort of blend it up. That way it sort of warms the cheekbone a little bit and helps to give you a lifted look. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it just adds that little bit of shape to the cheekbone there. You can also use contouring to carve out the jawline a little bit, just on the edge of your jawline. And you can also contour in through the eye socket like this, which helps to give some lovely shape to the eye and will help prepare you for your eye shape when it comes to doing eye makeup. So sort of through the eye socket and up to the temples, that gives a really beautiful lift. You can also do some shading around your hairline as well. If you like, you can also contour down the sides of your nose. So just adding a little bit here to help give some shape. Now let's move on to highlighting. This adds more light and brings more dimension to the face. In the same way that contouring adds shadow and depth, highlighting brings light and will bring the areas that you highlight forward. So the two contrasts work harmoniously together to give beautiful dimension to the face. There are so many highlighters available on the market. You can get them in cream form or powder form. So whichever highlighter you choose, I recommend just applying a little bit, firstly on the top of the cheekbone. I would recommend keeping it further back on the face as well, rather than bringing it too far forward, as this can give you a bit of like an oily or shiny look. And also when you keep it a little bit further back on the face, I find that as you roll your face around in different lights and sunlights, it just sort of catches the light quite beautifully and isn't too overpowering. So where you've put that contour underneath your cheekbone there, the highlight goes on top. You can also apply highlighter up above your brows, chin, and also at the tip of the nose. I love to put a little bit of highlighter just at the top of my lip here, as I think it gives my lip a beautiful lift. Also, you can pop it underneath the brow bone, and even in the inner corner of your eye. This is more getting into eye makeup now, but while we're here, just like that. When it comes to blush, you want your face to look youthful and fresh, so I recommend applying it high up on the face. Although a lot of people may recommend that you smile while applying your blush, I definitely don't recommend doing this. I would say to apply it with a relaxed face, as when you smile and apply your blush, and then as soon as you relax your face, the blush ends up quite lower down on the face. You can bring this a little bit further forward than where you would put your highlight. And in circular motions, just blend it into that contour and highlight that you did. If you're ever too heavy-handed with blush, like I often am, you can get your foundation brush and just pat it back over. If you used your fingers to apply your foundation, you can just get a clean sponge and just dab it over your blush to help knock it back a little bit. Now let's move on to the eyes. The great thing is that you can use your blush and contour colors on your eyes to give yourself a really natural, cohesive day-to-day look. I like to get a fluffy eyeshadow brush and use this just to apply some bronzer to help shape the eye. You can do this by creating a bit of a C shape on the outer corner of my eye. This is sort of emphasizing that contour that we put there before and helps to give a really beautiful shape to the eye. You can also sweep this over the eyelid as well, just to give a bit of color. Now you can go back over with your blush shade to help give some beautiful color to the eye. Just sweep it all over the eyelid, just like that. Now, if you didn't do this before, I would definitely recommend putting a little bit of your highlighter shade or a shimmer just on that inner corner of the eye. Now, for a day-to-day look, I would leave it just like this, but if you've got an eyeshadow that you really love or a fun shimmer, you can always just pop it over the top. Now, you can use a black, brown, or grey eyeliner to give the illusion of fuller lashes. Make sure your eyeliner is nice and sharp. We're going to start by lining the outer corner of the eye and work our way in, from a thicker line to a thinner line. You can use a makeup brush or a cotton tip to softly blend it out, so don't worry about it being too perfect. If your pencil is quite hard, you can warm it up on the back of your hand before applying it to your eye. This will make it go on much smoother. So as I get into the inner corner of my eye, I'm just barely touching the eyeliner onto the skin so that it's a very light application, but you can see I'm a bit more heavy-handed on the outer corner of my eye. Now I'm just going to use a little makeup brush, but you can use a cotton tip, just like this, to softly blend it out. Now I'm going to do the other eye. If you have lashes, now's the time to apply mascara. So when you're applying mascara, you just want to start right at the root and then wiggle it as you work your way up. I recommend lifting your chin and glancing down into the mirror. And the same goes for when you're applying eyeshadow and eyeliner. Now you can head to our brow tutorial video to see how to give yourself a full and natural looking brow. Did you watch it? Okay, let's move on. Now the last step is to do lips. Lip liner is a great tool to help your lipstick last longer and also to help map out the shape of your lips. For day-to-day makeup, I would recommend a natural pinky, brown or nude shade. So now I'm going to apply my lip liner. I like to slightly exaggerate the shape of my lips, more just in the top, in the center here. I find that if you overline your lips too much, it can look quite obvious and give yourself an unflattering lip shape. So if you are going to overdraw them, try to really keep it just in this middle bit where you overdraw. When picking your day-to-day lip color, I recommend going for something that's quite similar to your natural lip color, maybe with a little bit more pink, brown, or rose in it to give it that little bit more oomph. If you want something that's a little bit more nude, try to go for a shade that's somewhere in between your natural lip color and your skin color to give yourself a very natural looking nude. I'm going to go for a lipstick that has a matte satin finish, as I find these do tend to last a little bit longer than a creamy lipstick. And I'm going for a shade that's a little bit similar to my own lip color, but just with a bit more oomph. Now the last step, if you're going to have a big day or it's the middle of summer, use a setting spray to finish it all off. Hold the spray about 30 centimeters away from your face, close your eyes and lightly mist it all over your face. So there you have it. There's my day-to-day natural makeup look. Don't forget at the end of the day to cleanse your skin, wash your makeup off, and to moisturize before you go to bed. And always keep your makeup brushes and your hands clean. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.